yourself on your sentence, do you still insist you have nothing to tell this court? Do you still insist you have nothing to tell this court? I take it you have nothing?
Yes, my lord. I don't have anything to say to the honorable court.
Okay, this is the sentence and the reasons for it. The convict has been convicted of an offense or offenses in 4 counts, and each count carries a maximum death penalty. The death penalty is the maximum. We have the sentencing guidelines which you had the lawyers quoting, and this is the constitutional sentencing guidelines for courts of judicature, practice directions 2013. And these guidelines offer guidance on what sentences should be given for particular offenses. For an offense of murder, these guidelines offer what is a starting point. Starting point is like the middle point, and the starting point for the offense of murder for which the convict has been convicted, the starting point is 35 years in prison or 35 years imprisonment. What did I say is the starting point? From the starting point, you can either go up to death or you can come downwards, depending on the aggravating factors and the mitigating factors. From 35, you can either go up or come down, depending on what convinces you between the factors aggravating the sentence and those mitigating the sentence. The counsel for the state or the prosecutor has submitted or provided what he believes are the factors that aggravate these offenses that would call for the maximum sentence, which is death. The summary of his submission was that the offense was committed in a very cruel manner. The injuries that were, or the children sustained, were indeed grave. They were attacked from their safest place, and the person who attacked them was fit to be their father, and instead of protecting them, he murdered them in a very gruesome and brutal manner. He also stated that this offense brought terror not only to the families of the victims, but to the community of Gaba and to the nation at large. According to him, this crime falls in the category that is known as or referred to as the rarest of the rare, thereby calling for the very maximum sentence, which is death. He gave statistics and said that murders or the killing of persons, unlawful killing of persons, is on the increase, and if it is not addressed, every year we are losing about 4 villages in such kind of crimes. And he also said it is highly likely that because the crime is not punished as much, that is why it has gone on and become more prevalent. Okay. The accused person in mitigation the court asked him to say something in mitigation, but he chose to keep quiet. However, his lawyer, Ms. Sarah Okello, of course, first brought condolences and a prayer for healing for this land because of what happened, and went ahead to mitigate on behalf of the convict. Under paragraph 17 of the guidelines, sentencing guidelines, it provides that the court may only pass a sentence of death in exceptional circumstances in the rarest of the rare cases where the alternative of imprisonment for life or other custodial sentence is demonstrably inadequate. And the rarest of the rare cases is described under paragraph 18 to include cases where the court is satisfied that the commission of the offense was planned or meticulously premeditated and executed. I have taken into account the submissions made by Ms. Sarah Okello on behalf of the convict to the effect that the convict's family is broken and dysfunctional, and he's also a dysfunctional person, and I am supposed to weigh that against the aggravating factors which the prosecution raised. While passing the judgment, I emphasized how gruesome and brutal and heinous this offense was, and not only are the families of the deceased children still grieving, but the entire nation of Uganda still grieves at the loss of 4 innocent souls whose destinies were cut short by the barbaric actions of the convict on the 2nd day of April 2026. I have considered the fact that the convict meticulously, with a lot of sophistication, planned and premeditated this offense. I have considered the fact that the convict attacked defenseless, innocent children who depend on adults for their protection and survival. I have also considered that he targeted them in their defenseless state and went ahead to slaughter them as animals. And I have also considered the fact that he attacked during broad daylight and had no fear, no shame, no consideration for human life. I have also considered that if he was not apprehended, who knows, he would have killed more than 4. And I also consider the fact that when he was committing this offense, other people were watching. The caretakers, the coordinator. Meanwhile, these are the people that had actually earlier on shown him kindness by allowing to admit his alleged child when it was even, the age was beyond what they take at the center. I have also considered that the convict has not shown any remorse at all, because I would at least have expected an apology from him to the families of the babies who he hacked and slaughtered like chicken and goats. I realize he does not even imagine how those families are living without their children. I'm sure he watched the mother of Gideon collapse or faint as she testified. He must have known that she's going through something that she may never hear from. But he chose not to apologize. I have considered what this offense, the impact it has had to the families that lost their babies. The 2nd of April 2026, to them, was like any other day. They dropped their children to school only to find dead bodies. That pain, only God will help them to heal. I have considered the statement that the convict comes from a dysfunctional family and it is broken, but I do not believe that should be reason for someone to find other people's children and then slaughters them mercilessly. I've also considered his denial that that he did not kill these children for human sacrifice, but I am inclined to believe that that was the reason, because that is what he informed or he told Dr. Nwamanya Emmanuel. Because I would find no reason why someone would rise up or leave their homes early morning to come and slaughter children who are in their safe space at school. I agree, and I agree with the prosecution that this case or these offenses fall in the rarest of the rare. Like the probation officer informed the court that when he made inquiries, they said this kind of thing had never happened. For 4 children to be killed just in a very short time by one person. Having said that, the convict must be given a sentence that will not only speak to him, but also to those friends of his whose identities he refused to disclose, and any other person in this country who believes in sacrificing blood for wealth. Let them know that it is highly risky, because they will be found like Mr. Okello was found, and they will not escape the long arm of the law. In light of the above, I have found no reason why I should not sentence Mr. Okello with the maximum sentence. I hereby sentence him to suffer death for the murder of Eteku Gideon in count 1, Kensha Agenroth Otim in count 2, Seriange Ignatius in count 3, and Odekereyan in count 4 in a manner authorized by law. And Mr. Okello, you have a right of appeal. You have a right of appeal against the conviction of this court, both the conviction and the sentence. This you should do within 14 days from today. You have a right to appeal to the Court of Appeal. And that is the order of the court.
Thank you for watching Lango News channel. Please subscribe for more updates.